Well, I think that hole saw is burnt. It still feels a little sharp, but not like it was, and it takes an awful lot of pressure to push it through, make it drill that hole compared to when I first started. So I think that's going to be on the next trip into town, get another 2-inch hole saw. Until then, I've got these little caps, 2-inch caps, and I tested these on a board. I drilled using that hole saw and this cap, and I made sure it was going to be a nice snug fit. It's got the louvers on the front, the screen on the back, so bugs can't get in. There are some gaps up in these boards. I'll give you a little quick look. So these two blocks I think are about the worst two. Just happen to be right next to each other. You've got that air gap on top. You can see the light showing through. That doesn't really matter too much for venting. It'll just let more air flow from bottom to top. But these caps have a screen on them to keep bugs out. And I don't want bugs crawling through any holes or any cracks. So when I go down to town and get that hole saw, I'll get a couple little 6-pack cases of silicone or some type of sealant, whatever they recommend, that won't shrink up too bad. And I'm going to go around and seal in all these little spaces, hopefully keep the yellow jackets and the wasps out of my attic. I don't want them making little nests in my attic. And I will eventually go by and seal off that underneath with plywood, and then of course I'll have to put more of these vents in, or maybe I'll pop these vents out of that hole when I go to seal it up next year. Pop these vents out, seal it, and drill new holes and put these little vents back up in there. We'll see. These aren't very expensive, and I don't know if they're going to come out of the hole very nice. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it kind of sounds like it's raining out. It's not raining. The sun's out and it's melting all the snow off the roof, and it's melting some of the snow out in the yard. That melted snow is going to get into the ground, kind of saturate the ground a little bit. I want to put a fence up so when we move into this house, our dogs aren't stuck in a fenced-in area behind the place we're living right now. And I want to fence off about, I'd say it's going to be about 3 acres around the house, where the garage is going to be, the greenhouse, chicken coop area. Let the dogs have the run of that whole area. Now, if I wait, the snow will melt off a little bit in the next couple days when it's nice and warm. Well, warmer. It's still going to get below freezing at night, but not by much. It's going to be above freezing, almost 40 degrees some days. So if I go out and start driving fence posts down now, it's going to be a lot easier. I might run into a couple rocky patches, but the ground with that moisture in it, it's going to be a lot easier than if I wait a couple weeks and get out there and try and drive fence posts through a layer of ice. This water is going to soak down into the ground, and then when it doesn't get above freezing anymore, it's going to be ice. It's not going to be fun. So I'm going to take this opportunity to stop on the house a little bit and start working on that fence tomorrow, get that thing started. I'm still waiting on an electrician to come out here and give me a couple pointers, answer a bunch of my questions. They're super busy. I've actually made a phone call to the electrical inspector to see if he'll come out and answer my questions and point me in the right direction, make sure what I'm doing or what I've done so far is correct and is going to work. Now, I have been told that the wires on these outlet boxes need to come out 8 to 10 inches outside that box. I think that's a little excessive because I don't think I'll be able to stuff that much wire back in those boxes, especially some of these boxes that have 3. I think there's a couple boxes that might have 4 wires coming into them. That's going to be a lot of wire to pack in those boxes. Maybe I have to get a bigger box. I don't know. But that question will hopefully be answered soon if I get the electrical inspector to come out, or one of the 2 electricians in town. If they can manage to squeak me in somewhere, I would greatly appreciate it. But for now, I'm going to get on those little plugs, get those plugs put in, all the holes that I've drilled so far. I'm about halfway done, I think. A little bit more. I'm 3 holes past halfway. So I think one more hole saw, then I'll buy one more hole saw, should finish off the rest of the house. I should get all those pieces put in. And like I said, when I get the hole saw, I'll get a bunch of silicone, we'll go around and seal up all these gaps. So I got the backside done. Those little vent louver covers, they're in the backside. And I had full intention of going up there and putting them at least halfway, the holes I drilled, underneath that dormer window or that dormer roof. But something about that ice cold water dripping down the back of my neck as I'm on a ladder up underneath there, I don't think I'd like that too much. So I'm gonna hope that the fire I have going inside and the sun baking down on this roof the rest of this day gets all that snow melted and it all sheets off. And then tomorrow morning, before I start hammering fence posts, I can get up there and put the last, these covers in place. At least, like I said, it's only half, so it's only about, well, probably 14, 15 of them. It won't take too long to get done. So until this snow melts off the top of the roof, I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee and I'm gonna sit inside right behind where the camera is. You're backed up to the corner of my house where the 3 big windows are. This is my view out those 3 windows. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. The holidays are going great. Until next time, go make something.